Okay, here we go again. I'm back in the shade a little bit now, so we'll give this another try. I'm trying to balance both my iPad recording device and my smartphone that I'm trying to read my notes off of as I summarize Sheriff Ward's testimony. So, Sheriff Ward repeatedly testified that he did not feel threatened by Ammon Bundy and his associates, despite the fact that some of them were armed. He testified about multiple meetings with Ammon and some of the people that were with him. Some of those were in the Harney County Sheriff's Department office. He testified that on one occasion probably 10 people were there. They were all armed, but Sheriff Ward didn't feel threatened by that and felt like it was the right thing to do. He testified that he did have some concern about possible civil unrest in the community. But he also said that hostility towards the federal government and federal overreach was nothing new in Harney County, that it was already alive and well based on the experiences of a lot of different people. But the Hammond situation had basically brought those sentiments to a head, and so those things all seem to be kind of happening at the same time, and so there was additional concern at that point. According to Sheriff Ward, all his discussions with Ammon were very cordial, and he said that possible occupation of the refuge never came up in any of their discussions or meetings. So they talked about a variety of things, especially the Hammonds, but they never talked about the possibility that there would be an occupation of the refuge. So there was never a threat of that communicated to him. He admitted that of the 7 defendants on trial, aside from the emails that he received from Neil Wampler, Ammon Bundy was the only one of these defendants that he had any interactions with or had anything to do with. So his testimony really didn't apply to anyone but Ammon Bundy and to a certain extent to Neil Wampler. Sheriff Ward testified that he basically started receiving not just intel but directions from the FBI clear back in November of 2015, that they started telling him what to do basically, and they were giving him disinformation as well. And he basically became paranoid about all the disinformation that he was receiving and started assuming the worst in terms of what might happen. And that's a big part of what dictated some of his actions in terms of preparing for the protest regarding the Hammonds. Sheriff Ward testified that he was not aware of any actual threats by Ammon Bundy or anyone else against anyone in the Harney County community. Again, I'm trying to keep these clips to 3 minutes or less, so I'm going to wrap this one up and come back with a follow-up.